welcome to everyone who has joined us today, and I really hope you've had a good week. A big virtual hug to all our regular attendees, and a special welcome to those of you joining us for the first time. For those of you who are new, we run these free events weekly where we showcase a subject and expert that helps you enhance your well-being. So it's all about kind of keeping healthy and happy. And we started them last April during the first lockdown to help our clients and our community get through these times, especially now when being healthy is more important than ever. And we've continued with them ever since, and we will continue with them. And I do hope those of you who are new, you enjoy your first event with us, and you'll be back to try out more in the future. So moving swiftly on to today's event, we're welcoming back Jordan Turner to our community to run a fitness class with a difference. So Jordan did a couple of sessions with us last year where he concentrated on breath work, which I know were a big hit with our community. And Jordan, I'm not sure if you know this, if I've told you this before, but they were one of the most watched videos on our YouTube channel. So people really got into your breath work. Oh, so today, Jordan is widening his repertoire to help us combine some movement with the breath. Jordan, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me here, Stella. Pleasure as always working with you, and thank you for everyone who's come. For those who did join my breathwork session I did before, nice to see you again. And for anyone new, hello to you.
Brilliant. Really, really pleased to have you here with us. So before we kind of get into the class, I'm just going to do our usual few questions of you and just get into a little bit of the subject, because I always want people to kind of understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. I think it really kind of helps when you get into the class to know why you're doing certain things. So first thing, I know you've worked with some high profile people, and you call yourself a body and mind transformational coach. Now, you know, there's lots of terms bandied around nowadays by people, but I just want to know what that means. What does that mean for you, and why do you use that label, so to speak?
It's interesting. Is the actual truth there is that it's not necessarily me who uses the label. I use that terminology came to try and give some type of explanation to what I do. The way I see it is, yes, it's mind and body transformation coach, but the way I see it is really just serving health, and health has many pillars. Right, it's not just our physical body, right? We also have our mental state, our emotional state. We also have our energy body. And for me, it's about taking a holistic approach to health, and not just about doing sets and reps in a gym or at home, or just, and these exercises are great, and squats or whatever, and fantastic. We'll use these exercises, these very typical what you expect to happen in a fitness session. However, it's about getting fitter for life, right? Otherwise, what's the point in my eyes, right? Otherwise it's this time which, yes, even if we're only doing a 40-minute session or an hour session, it's actually a small part of our whole day. However, every moment is important. So if we can maximize each moment, why not get the extra benefits out of it? Why work on your physical body? Why not also be working on your mindset? Why not also be changing your emotional state? Because it's all interconnected also. And if someone's struggling mentally, then they're going to struggle necessarily in the gym, or their intentions of what they're bringing towards that workout, what they're building, is not necessarily going to be conducive or the best for their life as a whole. So to be able to serve health and bring it together, these many elements, and put it together in a way that's understandable, relatable, simple, and sustainable, is what I love to do. So whether you call that mind and body coach, health and wellness coach, I don't mind.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's just to get an understanding of what that means, because we've introduced this class as holistic fitness. Excuse me. But what exactly is that? And I think you've summed it up nicely. Sorry. Excuse me. You've summed that up nicely around the whole idea of the energy body, the mental state. So it's not, you know, loads of people kind of go and work out because they have to work out, because they feel like they have to be fit and healthy, and they don't really enjoy it. So I think having that complete kind of 360 approach is lovely. Now, you are a breathwork man. You're, you know, like, you're really into the breath. You know, yeah, we've discussed this before. We won't go into it too much, but, you know, some people kind of go, oh, what do you mean you're teaching me how to breathe? I breathe all the time, you know, that kind of thing. And we all know, I mean, those of you who have done Jordan's class before know how transformational and how you feel when you kind of do that specific breath work. And we're both actually big fans of somebody called Wim Hof. I don't know if anyone here has heard of Wim Hof. He's the Iceman. Has anyone heard of Wim Hof? Yes? Okay, great. Okay. So Jordan, I just want to tell you, is I call him like a little bit crazy, because Wim Hof uses the breath to push his mind and beyond limits, so to speak. And he's calls himself the Iceman because he can put his body in extreme cold circumstances. Yeah, completely crazy, amazing man show, absolutely. So there's some Wim Hof fans here, so I'm not going to explain well, actually I will explain, because for those who don't know, so Wim Hof is uses the breath to push you to these extreme situations, and it kind of removes limitations. And I have to share with you all, before we start with Jordan's class, it was Jordan's birthday recently, and Jordan ordered for his birthday present bags of ice so that he could put them in the bath and have ice baths. Now, Jordan, I'm like really into Wim Hof and breathwork, but I think you just take it to extreme. But seriously, tell us how, like, why you did that, and, you know, how does that make you feel? And why do you feel that this whole kind of cold water and the cold, but the fact that the breath allows you to get there?
Mm-hmm. So for me, I've been doing ice baths and cold water swimming for a while. Being in London, it's difficult to find spots that I tried a few to find nice spots for outside, but whenever I was getting a chance, if I could go for when it was possible to go for like a cold winter swim in the sea, is always my preference. But then ice baths is something that I do every day. But normally I'd go to the shop and just get a couple bags. But for my birthday, I thought, you know what, I get a better treat, and I just had loads and loads of ice, so I can make it a much better ice bath. So it's something I've been working on for a while. For me, it's not really about having to be the ice. It's the idea of putting your, I like when the first thing in the morning as well is key, putting your body under distress, but learning to stay calm. Learning to stay calm in even the most stressful of situations, because your body's under a physical stress. To anyone to say, oh, I don't feel the cold, yes, but my body is extremely cold. But the omnipresent me, is very peaceful at that moment. And the breath is the gateway to sit in what I call the seat of the self. I won't go too far into that, but to be at this place where you go beyond those mind limitations. We're way more capable than we can imagine, and just to be able to challenge that regularly, not trying to prove anything. A lot of people are getting into it now and going it and trying to prove. No, in fact, it's the opposite. For me, it's about just surrender, being able to I'm putting my body in this state. Can I surrender? Can I relax? And can I find my peace even when my body is cold or doing its thing, and staying in that? And then you regain this power within you, where you realize you can gain autonomy through the breath and through the cold training, for other types of training, where you can become your own chemist. You change your own chemistry in your body. You can start to you release these. It's like your own inner chemist factory within you that you unlock within yourself, and you're like, wow, what this body is a technology like this. You realize the real essence of what we are, and it's for me, it's a moment of that. It's a moment of peace. It's a moment of connecting back to who I am and just letting go.
That's beautiful. It's wonderful. Well, you know, I think you were with me when I did the ice bath for the first time, and I've got to tell everyone, I actually cried because I had such a fear of the cold. I got in and I cried like a baby, and I was very embarrassed. But then I kind of got through it through the breath, and I managed to calm my breath. And I became so proud of myself being able to do that, because my fear of that cold was so like extreme. And what happened to me after doing that was that I then managed to get rid of other fears that I had had. So it was like it kind of broke down that barrier, but it all came from that breath work, of course. Otherwise, without that breath and calming down that breath, I never would have been able to do that. So I'm not quite at your level yet, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So coming back to what you just said, it's about kind of stepping away. You use this term, which I love, and I use it over and over, is you step away from the mind into the intelligence of the body. Okay. So I think that's a good opening maybe to start our class.
Sure.
And that's Jordan's kind of motto, step out of your mind into the intelligence of the body. So shall we get going?
Sure. All right. I'm just going to switch this. I like that. And for me, it's, yeah, saying that I say a lot is dropping out of our heads and into the intelligence of the body, instead of said. It's, and what I mean by that is out of our like everyday thinking, rational mind. It's not that it's bad. We're not judging it as that's wrong and this one's better. It's just bringing balance back, because we spend so much time trying to rationalize, analyze all these things, but we're forgetting that the body has its own intelligence, right? And there's an interconnection, a communication that's always happening. And as Stella mentioned about the breath, well, we're going to start with the breath because breath is the foundation of health, right? Because we can go quite a long time without moving at all, right? We can go a fair bit of time, not too long, without food. We can't go very long, but we can go a little bit of time without water. But we cannot go long at all without our breath. And the way that we breathe affects the way that we think and the way that we feel. And when we breathe in optimal ways, we're also supporting potentially our digestion, we're supporting our immune system, we're able, as I spoke earlier, to change our chemistry within our body. We're able to influence our nervous system so we can feel heightened and ready to work out, which we'll experience a bit of that too, or we can also feel very relaxed. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to drop into the intelligence of the body. And today's theme is about a taster of what is energy-centered fitness. So we're going to have an exploration through the energy centers within the body. Anyone who does yoga here may be familiar with the term chakras. For me, it's more about the physical experience rather than the words or without, which is still great. I love the philosophy of it too. So within the body, well, in total, there's actually 114 chakras, right, or energy centers. And there's 72,000 nadis, which are like energy channels for life force to go through. So when we say life force, what are we talking about? Other physicians call it chi, right? It's the breath, the life force running through our body, right? That which keeps us alive. So if you hold your breath for a certain time, you move on in that air, because we cannot go long at all without that life force running through us. So there's these different channels that connect into these 7 main centers. So they're actually triangles, but chakra translates as wheels of energy. So a way of looking at it is wheels of energy, or to look at it like blossoming flowers, basically. And through the central channel. Each one has a very physical element to it and an internal, inner dimension to it. And I'll be careful when I use that word. It's not trying to be abstract or ooh, it's very much can be experienced. So each one is slightly different, but instead of me just stand here and you listen to me explain it, let's begin to feel into our bodies and let's feel through as I explain. Because feeling is the language of truly understanding rather than us just thinking, and we're always in that mind. We can do a little bit of that after, right? Today's more about an experience, so just feel. So we're going to start with a breath, and then just so you know, we'll then move into some just gentle movement today. We're not going to go too crazy with movement. When we do move into the movement section, and it's still truthful for the breath section, of course, we have a range of people here. So some of you may have different conditions or different fitness levels or different ailments. So please be very mindful of your own space, what you can and can't do. For most of what we're doing, if there's any major condition or pregnant, then please, of course, make sure you'll check with a doctor or something beforehand. But other than that, we'll be good to go. Everything we're doing is nice, safe and effective, gentle. And I'll also offer different alternatives throughout. So something to maybe try a little bit of a tougher option or a simpler option, or something that's lighter in the body in some way or another. So we're going to start by, let's just have an experience. So I recommend sitting up if possible, but only sit up if you can stay comfortable seated. You can even sit in a chair, but the main thing is that your spine's nice and straight. If for any reason you're unable to feel comfortable in that position, please feel free to lay down. Please feel free to lay down. But when I say hands above your head, if you are laying down, bring your arms out in front of you. That's the only difference. So please feel free to lay down if you wish, if you're going to be more comfortable that way. But if you're comfortable enough, the ideal is to sit upright for this. So the first thing we're going to do is I invite you to close your eyes. And I want you to, actually I lied to you a little. Open your eyes for now, just to make sure we've got the basis first. One hand on your chest and one hand on your tummy. So just at the top of your tummy. And I want you to breathe in, preferably through the nose. And as you breathe in through the nose, I want you to bring the breath into your belly and away from the chest. So you should feel it on this hand on your tummy, expanding. And as you exhale, you should feel that hand, the tummy going in. So as you breathe in, the tummy expands, the rib cage expands outwardly. As you exhale, it goes in. So you shouldn't feel much in your chest, just a little. You're leading from the diaphragm, from the top of your tummy, from the rib cage out. And this is a solid base that you can always return to. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. This supports making sure there's a fair exchange of oxygen and CO2 within the brain. This helps us regulate blood pressure, and this helps us deal with the harmful effects of cortisol, which is stress hormone in our body. Just this very simple technique. So just make sure we've got that first, the foundation of breath, to make sure our everyday breathing pattern is working for us, not against us. Once you feel comfortable with that, now I invite you to close your eyes. Just wanted to start that so you've always got a base you can go back to. So we're going to start by placing your hands, no, you can't see very well, but on your hips, on your lap here. You're going to place them on your hips. Now I invite you to close your eyes. And as you inhale, if we can, we're going to stay through the nose because there's a neurotransmitter that signals to your body that you're safe and secure. But if you need to, through the mouth is okay for now. So you're going to breathe in and imagine breathing into your hips. Allow the breath to drop as low as you possibly can. And as you exhale, you're going to exhale like a sigh, like a release of tension. So you can inhale into your hips. And just a big sigh, release tension. So this central energy center, you're going to stay with the breath there. Just keep following your own rhythm in and out. And you're going to focus all your attention between your hips while staying with the breath. Stay connected with the breath, just breathing in, sighing out. And this energy center deals with safety, security, groundedness. Also our basic primal needs. Our needs for food, our needs for shelter, our needs for water, our fears. As we breathe here, we're just going to, the mantra is safe and secure to let go. I'm safe and secure to feel. I'm safe and secure to be open to this new experience. You're just settling that down, letting out any sighs, any tension. Just letting yourself sink into the body, sink into the root, grounding yourself like the roots of a tree. Building solid foundations. Great. Now I invite you to place your hands on your belly button or just below your belly button. Now I invite you to bring the breath here. So inhaling at your own pace, a little bit deeper than you normally would breathe, and a little bit slower, but at your own pace. Breathing into the tummy, and as you exhale, you're going to exhale like a sort of sound, like a just inhale. Just let it go nice and easily. The element here is element of water, so just let it flow as you breathe. And as we breathe here, if we roughly breathe 4 seconds in and 4 seconds out, This is called water breathing, and it has an adaptogenic effect on the nervous system. So if you're up and you're heightened, it will bring the nervous system down. If you're feeling sleepy and tired, it will help regulate the nervous system. So see if you can stick with that pattern, just roughly 4 seconds in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and out, 1, 2, 3. And continue that process while focusing all your attention. The mind will wander, that's fine. I see you, I hear you. We're just doing this now. And here is the Sacral Center. As said, is the element of water. It deals with connection, it deals with our relationships with others, it deals with creativity, and it also is the pleasure center. So the simple pleasures like the pleasure for food. So rather than just eating food for fuel, you might be eating food for pleasure. It deals with, for example, pleasure in the sense of watching the movie and whatever it is, all these types of pleasure. It's felt from this center. This is where it's on a physical level experienced. Great. And then I invite you to place your hands on your rib cage. Just relax the breath, calm yourself for a moment. And as we breathe here, we're going to breathe really strong breaths. So just really deeply in and fully out. Don't force it. But deeper than you normally would breathe and slightly stronger. This is our power center. This is our willpower. The solar plexus. This dimension is experienced physically as a doer, getting things done, taking action. So we're going to feel our strength and our power. We're going to take 10 very powerful breaths. Ready? Let's go. Fully in. Let it go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more, breathe fully in. Let a little bit of pressure out and just hold the breath for a few moments. Place your hands just on the solar plexus. And whenever you need to breathe, you take that breath, but before then, just hold the breath and begin to feel into your power, feel into your strength. And exhale. And we're just going to place the hands on your heart. As we place the hands on the heart, we're going to be very gentle with the breath now. Breathe in through the nose and just exhale as like a completion, like all is good. I've achieved that thing that I was looking to achieve. All is okay. That type of sensation as we exhale. We focus our attention on our heart space and we invite our heart to open. The heart is governed by the element of air. So you bring air in, just begin to activate the heartbeat. So feel into your heartbeat. And this is the element of what you love, passion, intuition, all sitting here. Leading a very heart-centered, even a heart-centered workout. Not doing it because we feel like we have to. Doing it because we feel like we get to. Falling in love with movement, falling in love with exercise, that type. It also deals with inspiration. Yes, we can be motivated in life to do things, but motivation is external. It relies on something else, and it's needed daily, like shower. Whereas inspiration is a feeling. When you're inspired, it's a feeling within you that cannot be taken. It's an internal sensation within you, inspired to take action, inspired to live, and inspired to feel. One more breath into the chest and a big out. And for this next one, you can either place your hands on your neck or by your side, on your lap, sorry. I'm just going to tilt the head back slightly. You're going to breathe in, and as you exhale, you're going to relax the jaw and just let the breath out of your mouth and just let it clear out of your throat. This center deals with expression. This is your voice, what you say. This is also about strengthening your word. How many times do we say we're going to go for that walk or that exercise and we don't do it? Every time that happens, we weaken our work. This is about strengthening your word. And as we strengthen our word, this is a center of great power. What you say may be done as that word begins to strengthen. Open up your expression. What you say has meaning and purpose. So that's the center here. A few more, let it move through your throat, clearing any blockages there. Once more. Great. Bring your head back to center. Then you're just going to place your fingertips on your eyelids, and you're going to focus all your attention between your eyebrows. You're going to breathe in and out gently through the nose. And as you do this, you're just going to look inward at yourself, beyond the many expressions of ourselves, the many aspects, into who you really are. And you're going to connect to a vision of how you would love to feel. A vision of your health story. How would you feel? Would you feel more confident? Do you want to feel more energetic? Do you want to feel more empowered? Do you want to feel more focused? Do you want to feel more disciplined? What is it that you would like? Just connect to a vision of your health story. If it's too hard to think too far forward, even think a vision for today. As we finish the day, how would you love to feel? A vision of success. What does that feel like? How do you stand? How do you walk? How do you talk? Just connect into that vision. Blocking out any external distractions. Just breathing gently and calmly. Once you've got that vision, allow yourself to feel it and ramp up that feeling. Times it by 100, like you're turning the volume up on that feeling. Whether you chose to feel confident, turn the volume up on that confidence. If you chose to feel focused, turn the volume up on that focus. If you chose to feel empowered, turn the volume up on that power within you. And then finally, you're going to raise your hands above your head. And as you raise your hands above your head, it's going to breathe in. And as you exhale, it's going to enjoy the breath moving through your fingertips into your heart space. Focusing your attention above your head. And as you focus your attention above your head, I want you to connect to that which has given you life, the source of life, breath. Just connect into that for a moment. And connect into the source of your own inspiration, something bigger than ourselves. Whether we're inspired, who are you inspired by? Maybe there's a family member, a child, a granddaughter, a grandson. Maybe you're inspired by a parent. Maybe you're inspired by a loss of someone. Maybe you're inspired by someone you just admire what they're doing. Inspired by that selfless service. Whatever it is, just connect to that which inspires you for a moment. And just breathe, relax the shoulders away from the ears, but keep the hands up for a moment. And just connect to a bigger purpose for a moment. Whatever that is. You're doing this for your kids, or doing this for a loved one, or you're doing this for community, whatever it is. Giving life to life for a moment. And then you're going to bring your hands down, place them on your heart, and you're just going to drop your chin down slightly. You can relax the breath. Let yourself internally smile from the inside outwards. Just stay open. Nothing in life, nothing, and I mean nothing is worth closing for, no matter what. So stay open and make the commitment to just let go of the mind for a moment, and just to feel into the intelligence of the body and explore and try this new movement. So finally, you're just going to connect your intention for today's workout, whatever that is, intention to just explore, or intention to feel confident, as we said, or to feel focused, or whatever that is, right? To let go of something, whatever that intention. And then when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes, and then we're going to go slowly, slowly take your time. I'm going to give everyone a minute to do so. Come into a standing position. Take your time, no rush, don't rush yourself up. So come standing. And we might be feeling really relaxed and sleepy, like, I definitely don't want to do that. Well, we're going to change that in a second. We're going to change that. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to now get ourselves ready for exercise. We're going to switch on the sympathetic nervous system, which is preparing us for movement. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath in, and as we breathe in through the nose, we're going to bring our hands up, then we're going to breathe out through the nose, and we're going to make a fist. We're going to breathe in, reach right up and down, okay? I invite you to do this at your own pace, but try and do it as fast as feels comfortable for you. So deep breath in and out like this, okay? Try and go nice and fast and really energetic with it. Starting to raise the heart rate and really as if you're celebrating your body for a moment. Really go for it. Good. All the way up, back down, in and out through the nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Reach all the way up. Bring the hands down. And if you feel a little bit spacey, then slow it down on the next one. But if you feel good, we're going to do that once more, and we're going to really go for it one more time. Let's really ramp it up so we start switching on sympathetic nervous system and feel nice and energized. This therefore is also the Yogic Coffee. So it's like an espresso if we do it when we learn to do it correctly. So we're going to really go for it. Ready? In and out. Really pump through the system. In and out through the nose. Really reach to the ceiling and back down. We're going to charge up the system. Connect, pull the energy down. Pull that inspiration down into you. That which you're doing it for. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in. Reach right up, up, up. And bring your hands down by your side slowly. Till they're in line with the shoulders. I'm just going to roll the shoulders to just get these warm. We hold a lot of responsibilities, tension in our shoulders. We're just going to move and roll them for a second. Good. And the other direction. Just releasing. Taking any baggage off our shoulders. I apologize for any of the sirens you're hearing. For some reason there's loads of it. Just moving any of that tension off shoulders, letting it go. Good. And bring the hands down. Take a deep breath in, let the shoulders come up. Deep breath out and let them release. Good. 3, 4, 5. Last one. Good. And we're going to roll the neck. And as we're just gently rolling the neck, deep breaths. Be gentle with it, but relax the tension. And as we're rolling the neck, I want you to think about what words you use around your health, what your health story is. You say, oh, I'm not fit, or I don't like exercise, or exercise, whatever type of thing you say, start to notice it. And then switch directions. What stories do you have around fitness? Do you see fitness as a chore, something that you have to do? Something that you have to do, otherwise you're going to get out of shape? Let's change it up. Let's see it today as something we get to do. Let's see it as a celebration for what our body can do, rather than a punishment for that thing that we ate, or that glass of wine, or whatever it was, right? So from here, we're now going to move into the heart center. Movements around the heart center are like cardiovascular movements, anything that gets our pulse up, heart rate up. It's also opening movements in a mobility sense, anything that's open in the chest. So we're going to start by opening it. I'm sorry, I'm more dark than I thought I would be. Hopefully you can see me well. We're going to take a deep breath in, open up through the chest. Deep breath out and come in. Deep breath, open up and out. Just gentle breaths. Unless you feel good to do so, nice strong breath out. Deep breath in, strong breath out. We're being relaxed, we're charging up the system now. Open up through the heart space. Connect into that part of us that open up, choosing to open. Fall in love with the movement. And if you feel like, oh, but I don't love exercise, so I'm lying to myself, well, how about I'm learning to love exercise? That's better than saying I don't like it. Right? It's much easier to do what you love, and it's a chore to do what we don't like. Good. From here, we're then going to take a deep breath in, open up the chest, deep breath out, bring it together. Deep breath in, open right up, try not to lean back, keep the core tight, but open up through the chest, let the shoulders drop, deep breath out. Deep breath in, open, deep breath out. Open up. 2 more. Good. Last one. Good. The heart's also about the pulse, the heart rate getting up. So we're just going to move on the spot gently. I know you can't see my feet, but all I'm doing here, I'll show you, is just gently on my feet like this, right? Everything loose, just on my toes. Here it is, right? Just nice and loose, moving the body, getting the pulse up. Let's, if you can't do that, you can just stand and move slightly, that's fine. But if we can, let's move. And then if we can, we're going to just turn it into a quick sprint on the spot and get a heart rate right up. So just for 5 seconds, we're going to sprint on the spot if we can. If you need to, just jog's okay. Ready? Let's go. Sprint on the spot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax again. And as we're relaxing, just focus your attention in. Okay, ready? Let's go. Sprint again. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Relax the system. Just going to stopwatch. Good. And then one final time, sprinting on the spot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and relax it down. Good, and relax. Place your hand on your heart. You'll feel your heart rate should be raised slightly. So just feel that. Begin to build that feeling into the body. Great. Another thing for heart is also pressing movements. Anytime we're pressing, it's in the strength aspect. So we're just going to have a little go on that. So as we do that, we're just going to come down onto our mat. And we're going to come onto our knees, unless you can go into full press up position, and that's great. Onto our knees. If anyone really struggles, they can swap this out for just touching their shoulders. Okay, so this is an alternative you can do. All right, but if we can, from here, I'm going to press down and push back up. Okay, if we can do full press up, great. Right, but it's just as good wherever you're at. But again, you can swap it out for just touching your shoulders. Okay. So I'll just show you from an angle. I'm standing a bit dark at the moment. So you're going to be here, come up, press, back down. Okay. And we're going to just do that for 20 seconds. Let's go for it. Up and down. Pressing up through the chest. Pressing through. Good. Effortless effort. So yes, you're using effort, but you're not making it harder than it needs to be. Good. You're way more stronger than you think. Good. 3, 2, 1, and relax for a moment. As we're relaxing, we can either sit back on our heels or we can sit nice and upright. We're going to do one more round of that. But this time, I want you to think of what you're saying to yourself when you're doing the press-ups. So instead, I want you to think, for example, I'm strong, I'm confident, I'm focused, I'm determined. Whatever type of words you want to use, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's connect to those words the way we want to feel. So ready? You can either follow what I say or your own. Ready? Let's go for it. I'm strong, confident, good. Get more determined, focused, enthusiastic, able to overcome resistance, good. Disciplined, happy, healthy, free, good. All the way up. Nice. From here, we're then going to stand all the way up. And that's a little bit of taster for the heart. So the heart is exercise where we'll open the heart, raising the heart rate up, or also pressing movements, right? And there's others too, but just very simply so you get a little idea. The next we're going to go into is this center here, solar plexus. These are movements that challenge ourselves, that test our willpower a little bit, right? It's also pull-in movements, right? And in terms of mobility, it's opening up around the sides, right? So in here, the solar plexus. So for here, the first thing we're going to do, place your hands there. It may already be switched on. You may feel like you feel your heartbeat, but feel it here. If you do, great. If not, we're going to switch it on. So the first thing we're going to do is going to take a deep breath in. And you're going to open up through the chest. Bring those elbows right back, shoulders back. And then as you breathe out, strong breath out and push forward. So deep breath in, strong breath out, push forward. Good. And slightly squatting down. Just slightly. 3, 4. Good. We're going to do 11 of these. 5. Good. 6. Really connect to that strength now. Connect to your power. Really go for it. Get focused. Really power through. 8. 9. Last one. Really go for it. And then stay there. Hold. And hold your space. Connect, stay focused in the body, connect to your willpower, your ability to overcome. Move your hands to the side. Move your hand down to the ground. Take a deep breath in. Reach all the way up. We're going to do this 3 times. Good, all the way to the side. Deep breath in. One more. Come all the way up. Place your hand on the solar plexus. You may, if you've done it strongly, you'll feel like a pulse happening. Just switching it on, switching on your will, right? So now we're going to have a fun way of testing our will, just very quickly. This is my background. I come from a boxing background, so we'll have fun with this. We're going to throw a couple of punches, right? Straight punches and hooks. And then I'm going to say knockout. When I say knockout, we're then going to lay all the way down onto the ground. And then we're going to get up, all the way up, ready to go again, okay? If anyone can't get down, just touching the ground's fine. You don't have to lay down, touch it. And when we do lay down, do it really gently and safely, right? Don't throw yourself down and hurt your wrist or something, okay? So when you're ready, we're going to do this just for 1 minute and just push our willpower a little bit. Let's connect to our will and really go for it. Ready? Let's go. Punches. And then when I say it, knock out, coming all the way down and get yourself back up. No matter what happens. Wherever you fall down, get yourself back up, back to punches. We're going to do some hooks. And then we're going to go knockout again. Knockout, come down, just nice and safely, but get yourself back up, ready to go again. Punch through any obstacles, any blocks. You're way more capable than you could ever imagine that you are, so push through it. Let's go. Good, knockout, coming down. Good, back up. That's part of life, the perfect balance of life. The yin and the yang, 2 opposites, always happening. Good. Good, hooks, nearly there, knockout. Good, get yourself back up, all the way back up. Finish strong with the punches. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, and relax for a moment. Nice, so it's a little bit taster of our willpower, our ability to overcome things, ability to overcome these challenges, resistance, these things in life that push us down in some manner. So now we're going to move on to the sacral, which is also the core. So we're going to take a seat on our mat. We're going to sit down. And from here, we're going to work on this core area. So you can either, I've got a few options. For some, even just sitting nice and upright, slightly lean back, they'll feel it enough, and that's okay. But I invite you to take your feet off the ground, and I also invite you, if you can, to bring your hand in front. And as we do this, we're going to focus our attention into our navel, and you're just going to breathe into your belly. If anyone wants to make it even tougher, you can pump the belly like a pump. But don't worry too much, just breathing into your belly is fine. And here we're connected to the element of water. So 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out as well, if you just normal breathing. And try and relax, even though the body's stressed in. If you need to put it down, great, but just try and stay calm. And when you need to, drop the legs, sit nice and upright. Take a few deep breaths. And then the next one we're going to do for the core is we're going to lay on our back. As we do this, we're going to place our hands like this, underneath the bottom of our spine, at the top of our bottom, right? So the lower bit of our back. And we've got a couple of options. Option 1 is just to lift one leg up at a time. Option 2 is to bring the knees in and out. I said 2, but we've got 3 options. Is to get legs straight and back down. So while we're doing this, we're going to do this just for roughly 20 seconds. We're going to breathe in to lift the legs up, and we're going to exhale to bring them down. And we're focusing our attention on our core. Good. Just surrendering. Just be fluid like water. Breathing in, breathing out. We also hold a lot of emotion and tension in the stomach. So with each breath, thanking yourself. Three, 2, 1. Drop the legs down. Place your hands by your side, palms facing up. Take a few breaths in and out. One more. And we're going to do one more round. So this final round, again, choose your option. One leg up at a time, knees bent in, or both legs up. Ready? Final round, let's go. Deep breath in, deep breath out, working on the core. Strengthen our core. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the legs down slowly. Bring the hands onto your tummy. And just bring the breath back into your tummy. Calming the system. Closing the eyes, I invite you to. Just focus your attention on your tummy. And as you focus your attention on your tummy, this center deals with connections. So we're going to just connect everyone in the group right now. And we're just going to say thank you to everyone for showing up. Thank you for all that you are and all that you are not. Then we're just going to send the energy of I'm sorry. Sorry for whatever we have or haven't done. I'm sorry for any way that you felt about yourself that's not conducive to your greatest good. I'm sorry. Then we're going to send the energy of I love you. Love you for your body, for yourself. I love you for showing up, whatever it is. And then we're just going to send a blessing to everybody. Just wish them well. Dealing with those connections. Good. And then we're going to slowly come up to seated position. Slowly, slowly. And then we're going to begin to move into root now, into the hips. The first one we've got, as we go into the root, we've also got hips and we've got lower body and legs and feet. But first thing is mobility side of it. It's things like stretching the hips out, moving the hips. So we'll just do one little mobility exercise for the hips. Feet nice and wide. I'm just going to let the feet drop in. And you're going to let them come to the other side. Try not to lift your bum too off the ground. Try and keep it down. Just gently here. One side to the other. Just let the hips move. Before we do this next. And we're coming right to the end. Today's just a little taster. So the hard work's nearly over. Good. You can do this a little bit more seated upright as well. There's a little more belly here. Nice. Another one is to step the leg across. Return, open up. And then return to the other side. We're just going to do 4 of these. Turn, open up. Turn to the other side. 2. Good. Keep it flowing. 3. 1 more. 4. Switch legs. Same again. 1. 2. 3. Last one. 4. So you know you can do some mobility things, hips, quads, hamstring. This is when we're working on the root. It's also our foundational movements, so any movement patterns that's needed. Right? It's also things like, which we're going to show you now, squats. So we're going to do just some little simple squats. So we're going to have a couple options. Option 1 is to squat just down to your knee, come up. Option 2 is to squat, bring your hand in front, nice and low, come up here. Option 2, sorry. So option 1 is just here. Option 2, come nice and low, all the way up. Ready? 20 seconds roughly. Let's go for it. Down, up. Deep breath in, deep breath out. 2. Good. Power through. Working the quads here, front of your legs, working the glutes. Good. Last quarter, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Just got a couple more exercises to go. Sorry for all that noise. We're going to bring our feet a little bit closer, hands together. We're going to squat down. First option is just to go to where you can and come back up. Second option is to just go slowly, elbows to your quads and back up. Third option is to do it like a piston, in and out through the nose, breathing at the same time. So breath out, breath in. Nice and fast. Ready? 22 reps. Let's go. Roughly. Good. You don't need to count. I'll keep a count. Just roughly 22. Good. Powering through. Deep breaths if we can. Like a piston. Connecting to our roots. Rooting ourselves into the ground. Strong wills that carry us. 3, 2, 1, and relax. The root also deals with primal energy. So we're going to finish today's workout connecting to our primal energy within us, getting very grounded, and then you're going to lay down and relax, right? So this is the final exercise that we're doing for today. We're going to, let me just change the camera so you can see.
feet nice and wide. Squat down slightly, so the legs here. If I was to push you, you shouldn't move much. You should be able to really strong, really feel your strength in your legs, right? And just hold this position for a moment. We're going to take a deep breath in. As we breathe, we come slightly up. As we breathe out, we're going to relax our feet into the ground. Completely relax. Let you just not grip you. Trust in the ground beneath you. It's safe and secure to let go. Deep breath in. Relax the feet. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 more. Last one. Good. Hold here. Hold in this position. Now from here, we're going to relax the arms. And we're going to, if you can, stamp. If you can't stamp for some reason, can't make noise, then just do it quietly. But if you can, really stamp the space, right? And I invite you, if you feel comfortable to do so, but let's get out of our heads and let's just be silly for a moment. And I invite you to just let the sound out, your primal energy out. It's like have some fun with it. Just let it out. Really connect. Hold, stand your ground, hold your space, connect to the inner animal within you for a moment. Just really connect, push through, nearly there. Good. 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet in, 5 squats, then we're going to lay down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come all the way up. Good. And then you're going to lay down all the way on the ground. Lay the weight itself all the way flat. Palms facing up. Hard work's done. Hard work is done. Lay down. And you're just going to settle the system for a moment. Feel what you've cultivated in your body. Just relax. Sink into the ground beneath you. Let go. Just let go. It feels good. The more you let go, the better it feels. Slow down your breathing. Let your body smile. And just breathe as one full system. Breathing from the tip of the toes to the top of your head. Allowing the energy to flow and settle in your body. Moving freely. Feeling what you've cultivated in. Noticing what you notice. Feeling what you feel. And just give thanks to yourself for showing up, for being committed, for giving it a go. Just relaxing. Then, bit by bit, just gonna open your eyes. You're gonna come to a seated position. And we're just gonna show you this way. So we're gonna be seated. Just because of time, I know you can always sit for after and settle it in. I know we'd like a little bit longer. We're going to cuddle our knee in first of all, just to stretch the hip out. And as we squeeze our knee in, we're going to breathe in, roughly around about 4 seconds in. And as we exhale, nice long exhale. So the exhale is longer than the inhale. So roughly 4 seconds in, 6 to 8 seconds out. Don't have to count, but just make the exhale longer. If you can breathe through the nose, fantastic. But no worries if not. And switch legs. As we bring the exhale longer, we begin to bring ourselves into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and renew. So we're already aiding recovery. This is what we want when we're stretching, when we've finished the workout. So at the beginning, we wanted to bring ourselves into the sympathetic nervous system, heightened state, so we're ready, right? But when we're finished, we want to relax the body. A good way of checking what one you're in is, it's not an exact science, but it's a way of checking, is if you breathe out, you'll feel what nostril's dominant. If the right nostril's dominant, you're normally in the sympathetic nervous system. If the left nostril's more dominant, you're in the parasympathetic nervous system. And you're going to bring the feet together. It's not an exact science, but it's not too far off, right? So sometimes before a workout, it's good to check. And if you notice it's coming from the left nostril more, you're like, okay, I need to heighten up. No wonder I can't be bothered to train today, right? So here, legs will be high. I'm just going to push you in and sit nice and upright. And again, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Just hold in here. Just bring it to a finish. From here, you can stay seated or sit. I'm just going to pull the arm across, quick stretches. Sorry, I would have liked to leave a little bit more time to stretch. Good. Switch arms. And instead of, for example, it's good to hold a stretch for a minimum of 20, 30 seconds. So sometimes instead of counting, we're going to come over to one side. We can breathe 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. That's already 10 seconds. And then you do the next 10. And then it goes much quicker, and you're also more mindful, you're more body aware, you're getting more out of the stretch. So it's win, 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 win. Switch sides. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Do that once more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Hands in front, stretch the forearm. Switch sides. And then over the top. Switch sides. Sorry, a little bit rushed. And then we're going to finish standing up. Last thing we're going to do. And we're just going to shake it all out. Shake everything. Just be silly for a moment. Can you be out of your head completely and just let your whole body go? Shake everything. Shake, shake, shake. Let the energy move through. Bring your hands up. Take a big deep breath in.
Yeah. Do you think I can have?
Solid work. Well done.
I had another caca now. No, total 3. Okay.
And relax.
But
Amazing
it's
work, everybody.
amazing.
Amazing work.
The normal, so natural. It's okay, I imagine so.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Hope you enjoyed that. If there's any extra you need to stretch, then sit here and have a little stretch while we're closing up the session. Thank you for joining this. Hope you enjoyed moving in a slightly different way. This was only really like a little fraction of the full systems of movements, just trying to give a little taste of each one. There's some that might be like too dominant on breath work, but don't worry, because there's also can be more dominant on movement. It can be, oh, it was a bit too much light movements. I prefer more strength-based. We can add more strength-based. So it's dependent on the individual and different goals and many different ways. But that's just a little taste of just moving through the energy systems, getting our energy moving within our body, connecting breath with movement, focusing on the way that we feel as well as the way that we're moving. And I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to hearing your feedback. I look forward to how you found it. And thank you, Stella, for having me on.
Oh, amazing, Jordan. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that. It's so good to like focus on those different centers and, you know, have that. It's interesting you feel emotional, Lily. I think it's it actually does have that effect, doesn't it, when you focus in on specific energy points, and you can see the ones that you maybe need more work on. Not just from a physical perspective, from an energetic and a breathwork perspective. So it was fabulous. So because of that, what we're going to be doing with Jordan, we're going to actually be doing like a course based on all the different energy centers, and we'll be doing an hour session on each energy center, starting from the root right up to the crown. And it will be really specific to that center, quite intense. So we'll be releasing that soon, and Jordan will be, you know, he gave you a bit of a taster today based on the, you know, like throughout the body. But is there anything you'd like to add to that, Jordan, that I've missed?
Thank you, Nora. It's lovely how you summarized it and noticed that some things will have strengths on a physical perspective, or also an internal perspective and certain weaknesses. But what me and Stella discussed is, moving forward, is we'll have a session on each one, because so you can break it down and understand that. I like to also empower us as individuals, because I don't see it as like the Jordan Turner show is relying on me, also inspire you and teach you how to understand it for yourself and be able to embody it and explore it further. So we'll focus on one point at a time. So for example, we'll focus on week 1 will be root, and we'll work our way up. And with each one, I'll be making it accessible as possible to as many fitness levels as possible. So I give more advanced options and more beginners options, depending on where you're at. And we go through
slightly different from today, but similar type of concept where we mixture of the internal perspective, the breath perspective, and also movements, and how you can also integrate them outside of the sessions too, if you wish to, and you can take it at your own pace.
Yeah, and you don't have to do all of them. You can do any one that you feel it suits your you know, your needs really. So that will be great. Now, before you go, yeah, Jordan is on Instagram under Jordan Jack Turner. So you'll see pictures of him in ice baths on that, which will make you smile, no doubt. And yeah, he does do a real mix of everything. It's amazing. Some great comments here. Thank you so much. Before you go, somebody asked some questions about you earlier before we went into the session. And I would like to answer those now. It was Mary, actually. So she said, what started you on this? What's your story? And what do you recommend rereading? Or anything else. So if anyone wants to hang around and listen to Jordan's story, please do. If not, we'll see you hopefully next week, and thank you for being here. So yeah.
This is the moment everyone switches off, and I'm kidding. So what started me? Very obviously there's probably a longer story, but I'll be quick as possible. So my journey, the main turning point of my health journey was when I was 15. So my dad passed away. I was always into fitness anyway, and I was boxing at the time, and boxing was like my passion. I loved it. I've always liked all types of sports. I've never just liked one, even though boxing was the one I competed in and took more seriously than others. And my dad passed away, and then at that time I just put so much focus into boxing, into exercise, into challenging my mind. I've always been into it though, even before that, but this just drove me to take it to the next level. And I just loved the way it made me feel more than anything. And even from that 15-year-old kid, when someone asked me why I trained, and they'd be like, why are you doing all this stuff? I used to just reply, again, I'm training for life, right? To prepare for the challenges of life, because life isn't always that easy. Life's full of many challenges, many resistance, no matter what's going on. So I just used to love it. And I just loved reading about different behavioral change. I used to like reading about mindset techniques. And I even got into breath work quite early. And I got into it a bit more when I broke my nose. So I wanted to breathe better for boxing. It sort of come hand in hand. And then I got into training literally as soon as I left school. I always knew I wanted to do it, but I knew I didn't want to do it in the typical way. At that point, I always knew I wanted to innovate. I felt it was when I would go to the gym or certain things, most people would look at a very superficial level. And there's nothing wrong with that superficial level. I also like to look good and how to shoot for example, photo shoot for men's fitness. I want to look good for that photo shoot. I don't want to look terrible, but it's way more than that. I don't just train to look a certain way or to just perform a certain way or just to win in a boxing match. It was about how I felt. It was about what it did for me. So I had this passion and I was into the fitness. So from 16, I was then doing an apprenticeship on it as a fitness instructor. And even though I was thinking, should I have done more or other things? And then I started my own personal training business at 18. And I was helping people through these body transformations. But I was like, there's more to it than this. I was like, some people was getting in the shape of their life, but still didn't feel great. Or some people would like struggle to get there. And I was like, this isn't enough for me. I want to support people being able to feel better, not just look better. Let's do both. So then I went on my own discovery of learning different tech, like more so, not just reading, going on courses and all sorts of stuff. And then I just took my own journey, and that led me into different areas of pushing myself. So I've done things like ultra marathons just to challenge my mind. I've done things like complete other ends of spectrum of that, like practices of meditation, which I like. As you can see, I clearly like the breath work. I like boxing. I like bits of Tai Chi. I like yoga. I just like all different movements, and I believe we can bring it all together. We don't have to just fit in a box. I've never wanted to put one person or myself in a box. We're all unique. We're unique ways of expressing ourselves. We have our own unique challenges, our own unique ways that we live our lives and things we wanted to do. So I just wanted to put it together and see how I could benefit my life more. Like, for example, at one point I was taking myself very seriously and I was very rigid in my body. I was very, very stiff and wasn't very flexible. Well, that was the same was happening outside of my life. I wasn't being very flexible. I was being very rigid. I was being very stiff. I was being very serious. They're not separate. So then I started adding in like playful movements, more whatever. So my story is there's other challenges and things that happen, but that's like the turning point and the main sort of grasp of it. And I've sort of gone off and done all kinds of different elements to bring it all together. And the question was, what book would I recommend? So many.
Don't worry about that. You send them to me and I'll put it on the, don't think about it. You can just, when you think of them, and I'll put them in the newsletter when we send out the update. But I've just got to tell everybody, Jordan is an old, wise soul in a young body. I honestly, he's such, he's so full of wisdom for a young man. And I'm in awe of, you know, a lot of the stuff that you do and the things that you recognize at such a young age. Which most people don't at your age. You know, they are quite rigid, or they are, you know, they've got, they haven't got that life experience. It feels like you've had so much life experience at your age, and you really understand a lot and have brought it all together. So thank you so much for being with us today. Really, it was brilliant. Thank you for your time and for being here. Thank you everybody for showing up. As Jordan says, be proud of yourself for showing up, love yourself for showing up, as you do every week. Those of you who show up every week, and even those of you who show up every now and again, thank you for doing that, and thank yourself for doing that, because you're helping yourself too. So lots of love to you all, and we'll be in touch for our session next week, which will be something completely different. Or actually maybe not so completely different. It'll be emotional detox with Claudia Roth. So that will be an interesting session, and we'll update you on that during the week, and also update you on Jordan's course as it comes up. So have a beautiful week, everyone, and sending lots of love. And I'm going to play you out with Optimistic, because I feel even more optimistic now after that session.
I love it.
Take care, everyone.
Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining.